Welcome into the Ringer Gambling Show on a Thursday. A lot going on. We got playoff baseball. We got a Thursday night football game. And of course, we got Sunday full slate of football to get into. I'm Brian Barrett, Raheem Palmer, and JJ here as usual. JJ, I would ask you how you're doing, man, but I know you're doing pretty well after last night.
Listen, survive in advance for my beloved New York Yankees. I thought after the Ben Rice homer, boys, that it was going to be a rocking chair game, that the feet would be up and I could decompress. Not the case. There were a couple of close calls, but at the end of the day, for all the marbles, and I know we got Thursday night football to get to, and I know we got the full slate of NFL football to get to, I can't wait for all of these baseball games today, but the granddaddy of them all will be at the big ballpark in the Bronx. Yankees, Red Sox. And Barrett, I know you're a Sox guy. I know you've gotten the better of the Yankees for the last 20 years after the Yankees owned the Red Sox for 86 years. I need the cosmic universe to, dare I say, get back to where it was from 1918 to 2003, okay? I need that.
Well, JJ, I tell you this. If you're not going to beat the Red Sox now, then when are the Yankees going to beat the Red Sox again, okay? I mean, you got Duran dropping fly balls. You got Eaton who can't score on a simple play. You got the base coach holding him up. You got Rafaela can't get a bunt down with nobody out and two guys on. If you can't beat this Red Sox team, where all the starters, for the most part, have been hurt, Bayo can't pitch anymore. If you can't beat this team, you're never beating the Red Sox again. I declare that.
And you know what? I have no problem with that. Now, Raheem, from a betting standpoint, Yankees yesterday opened at like 160. It got juiced up like crazy. I looked right before first pitch. Yankees were basically a 2-1 favorite. They were in the 160 range, getting ready for this game tonight at 8 o'clock. Do you think we will see the same sort of action where everybody's just coming in on the Yankees? Or do you think we'll actually have some folks at the window wanting to take the plus money with Boston?
Yeah, I think there'll be some people wanting to take the plus money with Boston. I think yesterday was more of a desperation spot. Very similar to what you see in the NBA postseason where a team is down 0-2 going home. This was an elimination game. So when it's an elimination game, you're at home, you have to win that game. There's a reason why they took steam. And I think you saw, other games in the same predicament take steam as well.
Yeah, we'll see. That was a fun game for one side, just like for the other side, it was fun on Tuesday night. So we'll get to that game in just a little bit.
This is the Ringer Gambling Show presented by FanDuel. And if you're betting on the NFL, FanDuel's the place to do it. You've got everything. Same game parlays, quick bets for when you jump in live, and your ways. You can set your own lines. The app's fast. It's easy to use. And best of all, when you win, you get paid out instantly. Download the FanDuel app or go to FanDuel.com/gamblers to get started. Yes, you must be 21 or older and present in select states and 18 or older in D.C., Kentucky, and Wyoming. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit rg-help.com. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut.
Let's start with Thursday Night Football here, guys, because for the second straight week, we have an NFC West matchup. This time it is the 49ers and the Rams. No Brock Purdy, which means my old friend, Mac Jones. So glad that Drake May is the quarterback and not Mac Jones anymore for the Patriots. But Purdy, I don't know what's going on with San Francisco. They bring him back. He re-aggravates the turf toe injury the first time he comes back. I saw this line get to 8.5. FanDuel right now has it at 7.5. The over-under 45.5. Raheem, we'll start with you. Thursday nights are always wild. How are you playing this one?
Okay, I'm not going to touch the side. Obviously, the biggest news coming out of this is that, Brock Purdy isn't playing, Ricky Pearsall isn't playing, Juwan Jennings isn't playing. They've lost most of their weapons. So they have Mac Jones in. And then you also have to look at the fact that, their top receivers are Kendrick Bourne and Demarcus Robinson with tight end Jake Tongs. So that just puts the 49ers in a really tough position. There's a reason why this line went from Rams -3.5 to Rams -7.5. It got as high as 8.5. I'm not going to touch the side at all. I'm going to play it this way. I'm going to play the first half under 23.5. I think the 49ers, they have no prayer of winning this game if they don't shorten it and run the ball with Christian McCaffrey. And I also like Christian McCaffrey over 15.5 rushing attempts. You look at what he's done this season. He's at 22 rushing attempts in game one. A little bit less in game two against New Orleans, but besides that, he's at 17 and 17 the last 2 weeks. I expect him to get a ton of carries this week, And I'm expecting the 49ers to try to shorten this game, particularly in the first half. Run the ball, keep Matthew Stafford off the field. Without Nick Bosa, they're going to struggle to really generate any pressure. So I think the best defense is offense in this game. So let's go first half under 23.5, and let's go Christian McCaffrey over 15.5 rushing attempts.
Dream, I like the way you're trying to attack this from a game script standpoint, because San Francisco has to run the football and has to make this game ugly against Los Angeles in order to go and have a chance, considering the entire Niner team is basically in the mash unit, from Brock Purdy to Juwan Jennings. They lose Nick Bosa for the year. I mean, we've gone over that ad nauseum. I do think it's a classic kitchen sink game, though, for the Niners. I do. Like, historically speaking, they have played Sean McVay's teams very, very tough. Christian McCaffrey has looked pretty darn good to start off this year. And if you even go back to their game last week against the Jacksonville Jaguars, I didn't necessarily hate what I saw from San Francisco's defense. It was turnovers. It was a lot of weird plays.
They had 4 turnovers.
Game. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. I'm not saying that Mac Jones is going to go and light the world on fire in this spot, Brian Barrett, and I can't believe I'm actually advocating to go and put my hard-earned American dollars on Mac Jones in this matchup. But I just think this line has gotten a little out of whack. Rams getting a little overvalued here, and I had the Rams last week. They were very fortunate to win that game against Indianapolis. They were insanely fortunate to cover that game against Indianapolis. I'm holding my nose here. It's not one of my favorite plays of the week, but it is Thursday Night Football, so I feel like I got to bring something to the table. I'm grabbing 7 and a hook, and I'm going to say that McCaffrey and Salah's defense does enough to keep this game competitive. Rams probably find a way to win it. I don't think this is a rout. I think this is a classic case that people are going to look at the injuries for the Niners and say, hey, got to take the Rams, got to take the Rams, got to take the Rams. We'll go the other way on this. Hold the nose, taking the Niners plus 7.5.
Yeah, Shanahan has historically owned McVay, too. Obviously, McVay won that big NFC championship game, but Shanahan has had the more success against McVay. So I have a couple things for you. I agree with Raheem on the rushing attempts for McCaffrey. I just don't know how successful they'll be actually running the football. You look at the numbers, McCaffrey's at 3.3 yards per carry. So I think he's going to get the attempts. I don't know about the yardage. So I'm going back to my guy, my old guy, Mac Jones, over 216.5 passing yards. Okay. Despite all the injuries, Kendrick Bourne, this reminds me of the 2021 Patriots, but Mac Jones, 279 yards, 284 yards. Now, the thing is, of course, like the Rams pass defense, second in drop back EPA. The Niners are 29th in rush EPA, though. So I do think they're going to have to throw the ball in this game. I think it's going to get away from them at some point, and maybe they try to get a backdoor cover for our guy, JJ, but Daniel Jones, 262 passing yards. Hurts had 220. So I think Mac is going to have to throw the ball. I just think he's going to get over that 216.5. The one other thing I have for you guys on this. So at FanDuel right now, the 49ers are plus 176 to miss the playoffs. After they lose today, that number is going down. And the only reason we're getting this right now, we're actually lucky because for some reason, the Seahawks screwed up at the end of the first game against the 49ers. Seattle should have won that game. Some bad decisions late from McDonald. So you look at it, McCaffrey hasn't been hurt yet. At some point, he's getting injured. Kittle's already hurt. We've now seen this Brock Purdy situation. Pearsall's out right now. And Bosa, as you mentioned, is done for the season. So plus 176. I don't think the number is getting better than this. I know they don't have the most difficult schedule in the world, but I think this could be a value time to go on the 49ers to miss the postseason. I think this team had been overrated from the beginning of the year, and I think they are a fraudulent 3-1.
Yeah, I mean, they were definitely a fraudulent 3-1. I mean, when you look at their point differential and their Pythagorean expectation, it says that. But I'm not willing to say that they were fraudulent. I just think everybody got hurt. And it's unfortunate because, you look at this 49ers team, they were probably going to be a contender in the NFC. But with that said, when you suffer this many injuries, it just puts you in a bad spot. So I do agree with your play. And I totally agree with your play. And I think that's probably something you need to jump on now because right after this game, they're on the road at Tampa Bay. So I agree with this play. It's so funny because if you look at the 49ers since 1998, they've either made the NFC Championship game or they've missed the playoffs entirely. So it kind of looks like that's going to happen again.
Guys, I'm pushing back on this. I understand your logic here, Brian. The schedule gets incredibly soft for San Francisco. And I do think they will get a little healthier as this season goes along. I don't love them as a championship contender this year. I still think they have enough in the tank to go and get themselves to 10 wins. The Seattle love all of a sudden now, I think, is getting a little too out of whack. That's my 2 cents. That's my take. There might be a play on the Seahawks maybe a little bit later on.
Here's my problem. Here's my problem with the 49ers getting into the postseason. We know that the Eagles are probably going to get in the NFC.
Eagles are in, yes.
The NFC,
Lions and Packers are in. I'm willing to put the 2 of them in as well.
Yeah, you're going to have 2 teams in the NFC North. You're going to get 1 team in the NFC South. And I just think right now, the Rams are probably going to win it. The Rams or Seattle are probably going to win that division. And I don't think
you guys are a little higher on Seattle than me. I'm not there yet.
And honestly,
I'm not there yet. I got to see more.
I can't even count on San Francisco being better than Arizona. As crazy as it sounds, because Arizona's had some injuries as well. And it's like
they did to be fair, beat Seattle and beat Arizona already this year.
Yeah. That
could matter.
That's true. It definitely could matter. But I don't know if they're going to be better than Washington. Like, I think there's there's other teams that I think can steal that last spot. And that's why I don't trust them.
Yeah, I don't trust him either. And the injury thing is the biggest reason for me. All right, let's get to some Major League Baseball. Count them, JJ. 1, 2, 3. Wild card games. Game 3. We'll start with the first one. The Guardians and the Tigers. The Guardians right now, minus 120 on the money line. Detroit's plus 102. Over-under in this game is 7. JJ, the Guardians didn't have a runner in scoring position until the 8th inning on Wednesday, and they won the game. Detroit left 15 guys on base. They were 1 of 15 with runners in scoring position. This offense is pathetic. AJ Hinch is searching. Riley Green hit 36 home runs, and because he had bad splits, he pinch hit for him late in the game. Okay, the pitching matchup, the artist formerly known as Jack Flaherty, and then you got Slade Ciccone on the other side. The Guardians offense woke up in the 8th inning. JJ, I like the Guardians in this game. You can get them at, if you want to, right now, you can parlay it with Steven Kwan, who finally got going there, doubled late in the game. If you want to parlay the Guardians and Kwan, 2 hits, runs, RBIs, you can get this at plus 165. I like the Guardians to win this game. I think the Tigers' chance to win it was yesterday. They have completely failed Skubal. Like if the Red Sox lose, they will have failed Crochet. I like the Guardians in this game. Where are you at, JJ?
You know, this is a very, very tough game for me. Out of the 3, I had the hardest time with Tigers in Cleveland because everything about the vibe would indicate that Cleveland is going to win game 3. The way they were able to overcome the deficit in the American League Central, the way they were able to overcome what happened in game 2, and they lose to Skubal in game 1 with a couple of chances to win it. Everything about this line says take Cleveland. I'm just a little concerned, Brian, that they are so anemic on offense. I know the Tigers left a zillion runners on base, but they generated a lot of traffic. Cleveland's offense is just flat out bad. It's just a bad offense. So to me, I look at this matchup and say, don't have a great feel for either team. Vibes advantage Cleveland. You want to tell me the experience of Flaherty, despite the way he pitched down the stretch? He's pitched in a lot of playoff games, including a bunch for the Dodgers last year. Maybe he has an edge there. If I had to make a play, I'd hold my nose and take the Tigers. Now, full disclosure, I don't love the game. It's my least favorite of the 3. Raheem, there's a reason why I think this line is basically a pick 'em because you're seeing the Cleveland Guardians at minus 120. I'm not touching this one. I'm playing the other 2. If I had to make a play, I would take the Tigers.
I think the play is the under 7.5 runs. It's juiced to minus 124 for a reason with the over juiced at plus 102. You spoke about the Cleveland Guardians offense being anemic. So I think the way to play it is just to play the under. And I think you got that offensive explosion yesterday in the 8th inning or whatever. But if you don't get that, that game flies under. So I think you got to go back to the well on the under on this one.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see because I don't think either one of these teams has a chance against the Mariners in the next round. I mean, the Mariners right now look like the best team in the American League, so it may be worth putting something on the Mariners.
The only pushback on that, Bri, is Skubal potentially twice in a 5-game series.
Yeah.
I'm with you. Seattle, talent-wise, better than the Tigers. Seattle, talent-wise, way better than the Guardians. But having that Skubal is so good that he could literally steal the series from you if he's able to pitch in game 1. That's the only caution I throw to the wind.
I agree with you, but I would say this. Like, they lost 3 out of the 4 games he pitched during the stretch, and they should have lost game 1. Like, the Guardians should have won game 1, even with him going out there and giving you 14 strikeouts. All right, let's move to the Padres and the Cubs. Padres -102, Cubs -116. Over under here is 7.5. Tyone for Chicago actually threw the ball well in September. 4 starts, a 1.54 ERA. Who is this guy? And this is not vintage Yu Darvish right now, but the bullpen, as we know, this is the difference for the Padres. Their bullpen, one of the best bullpens we've ever seen assembled. And I don't think that's hyperbolic in Major League history. I mean, Miller came out of the bullpen and he threw a ball 104 miles per hour. Just insane. Now, the problem is he threw 40 pitches the past 2 days. Morejon threw 33. So that bullpen was used a lot. They pulled Cease after, 4 2/3. So if the Padres bullpen was fresh, I would like the Padres, and they don't strike out, so they get a lot of traffic. Third lowest strikeout rate in Major League Baseball. So I don't love a side in this game, Raheem. What I'm going to play is Manny Machado had the home run against Amanaga on Wednesday, sat on a splitter, but his numbers against righties are outstanding. I like Machado +105 for 2 total bases. I don't love a side here at all, so I'm just going to go with Machado. I'm going to play a prop.
Yeah, I don't have anything on this one. I don't like the fact that they're sending Yu Darvish up there, so it's kind of like it feels like the Cubs have the pitching advantage with Talion, but I don't have anything on this one. As you guys know,
I can't get you back on the Padres, Raheem. You were so in on the Padres 48 hours ago, homie.
I was in on them to win the series. But when you handicap game by game, I actually thought they were going to win games 1 and 2. I thought they had the pitching advantage of both of them. But when you get here, now I gotta back Yu Darvish. I don't like it, so I'm staying away.
Fellas, to me, with the wind being such a factor at Wrigley Field, this game once again reeks of an under. It does. And I understand there are questions about what kind of shape the San Diego Padres relievers are going to be going into this matchup. It's game 3. Let it all hang out. I don't trust either one of these offenses. The Cubs are entirely too reliant on the home run. The Padres don't hit enough home runs, and it's tough generating consistent traffic throughout 9 innings of a postseason baseball game. Now, that being said, I picked the San Diego Padres to go and win this series, as did you, Raheem Palmer. I've seen my fair share of Jameson Taillon. I know he was good in the month of September. I don't care. San Diego Padres are going to upset the Craig Counsell revenge series that we would get if it's going to be the Brewers and the Cubs. It'll be the Padres and the Brewers. San Diego plus the money, under 7.5. And I like where your head is at, Brian Barrett. Manny Machado over 1.5 total bases.
Yeah, I can't stand Manny Machado. He slid into Dustin Pedroia, basically ruined his career after that. And for some reason, Pedroia defended him, which was just idiotic on his behalf. But he's just an unbelievable hitter. I mean, he's really good at setting pitchers up, and we saw it yesterday. Clutch home run. And by the way, I'd be really worried about Counsell. He was bad in that game.
Counsell's not a big-time manager. I totally agree. He's entirely overrated. His teams never win. Now, a lot of people looked at Milwaukee and said, hey, it's payroll, it's talent. No. He's not been good in these postseason series. I totally agree with that.
Yeah. Okay. So speaking of managers that aren't great in the postseason, let's move to the Sox and the Yankees. Yankees right now -172. Sox are +144. Over under is 7.5. Alex Cora went for it yesterday, JJ. Made all the stops. I was saying last night that would have been, let's frame the box score. After what he was able to do with that bullpen after Brian Bayo gave him absolutely nothing. That was the most gut-wrenching Sox loss since 2008 when David Price came out of the bullpen in 2008 for the Rays, and the Red Sox would have had an opportunity to go to back-to-back World Series. Now, obviously, this Red Sox team, even if they win the series, they don't have a chance based on where they're at from a starting pitching perspective. But that was just gut-wrenching based on everything that transpired. So, JJ, your team in the driver's seat here. We'll let you start this one off. What are you playing?
First things first. I like the over in this game. I think we're going to have some runs. There's just too much uncertainty with both pitching staffs going into the matchup. I know Cam Schlittler was great down the stretch for the Yankees. This is game 3, playoff series, Yankee Stadium, all the nerves, all the jitters. I'm concerned about that. Early, you have no idea what you're getting. I mean, the guy basically has been up for the last 3 weeks. Now he's pitching a game 3 for all the marbles. So from that standpoint, I see uncertainty on both sides. So I think we're going to have some runs between the Yankees and the Red Sox. Number two, if the New York Yankees cannot beat this version of Boston, Aaron Boone should have to walk home. Leave his car, tow it in the Yankee Stadium parking lot, and tell him he is never managing a baseball team ever again. Look, talent-wise, fellas, Brian just hit on it. The Yankees are so much more talented from a lineup perspective than the Red Sox. They are. You look at the Yankee lineup, you look at the Red Sox lineup, there's no excuse. The Yankees have to win this game tonight. Maybe this is my heart talking. I've been betrayed by Cora in these big spots. I know the Yankees haven't beaten the Red Sox in a playoff series since 2003. Not tonight. The Yankees are going to the ALDS. Book it.
I mean, the Yankees are clearly the more talented team, but this is a market. So you're looking at what, minus 160 range for the Yankees? If you had just bet them to win the series yesterday before game 2, you could have gotten them plus 1.
Well, I did, Raheem, for what it's worth.
Okay, so
just let everybody know I did.
I can't necessarily recommend a wager here, especially when you just don't know what you're going to get from the bullpen. Like, you just don't know. I mean, they could have blown it yesterday as well. So this is a stay away from me. I do think you have the right idea on the over, though. I do think we see some runs.
Okay, guys. So to me, this is just insane that we are now in a world where a Yankees-Red Sox series is coming down to 2 unproven rookies. I mean, it's amazing. And Cora's in a really bad spot. Whitlock went 47 pitches, so he's unlikely available. And coming in after, you would think, early, is Kyle Harrison, who came over in the Rafael Devers trade, and he hasn't pitched much for the Red Sox. With Shilter, and I hope I'm pronouncing that right, JJ. I always get that guy's name.
And trust me, it's impossible to say. And you know how many times I say the name and I feel like I'm going to say something I don't want to say? It's tough, Barrett, Raheem.
Okay, we'll just say the kid can't. Okay, in Massachusetts native, by the way. I don't know what's up with the Yankees and all these Mass guys, right?
And he was a Red Sox fan, unlike Rice. Rice grew up a Yankee fan. Schiller is a big Red Sox fan, apparently, as he should be.
Yeah, even more of a reason to dislike Rice. Why don't Bayo throw that guy another easy pitch hit out of the ballpark, okay? I mean, just ridiculous. But anyway, he brings it, man. 98 miles an hour, 94th percentile in terms of the velocity. The whiff rate, so the swing and miss percentage on that four-seamer, it's 11th best behind Skubal. His batting average against on that pitch is the 6th best. But here's the thing. He throws it 55% of the time. The Red Sox crush four-seamers against righties. Now, they're missing some guys like Roman Anthony, their best player. They hit 264 off that pitch. They have the most doubles against four-seamers against righties. And the thing that would concern me from a Yankee perspective, 10.8% walk rate. The one thing the Red Sox have been over these past 2 days is they're patient. That walk rate is in the 18th percentile. And the Red Sox will draw walks. Lefties are hitting 293 against his curveball, 261 against his cutter. He doesn't really have a secondary pitch when the Red Sox are going to get these lefties into the lineup when we're talking about Abreu and we're talking about the Yoshidas of the world. Give me the Red Sox over 3.5 runs at plus 118. That's going to be my play on this thing.
Barrett.
So,
good bet.
Yeah. And now with Early, I just don't know what to expect. His numbers, like if you look at his numbers, you would think he's Zach Wheeler, Dylan Cease, and Tyreek Skubal combined based on his numbers. But his fastball, it's 94, 95-ish. He does trust all 3 of his secondary pitches. He's a throwback. He's a pitcher. He's a Tom Glavine type guy. He's not, and not comparing the players, but he's not a thrower. So I'm just going to go with that Red Sox over 3.5 runs because I don't want to bet on the Red Sox and watch them lose. I just feel like the Red Sox are so up against it as it pertains to their bullpen. Like that was the kitchen sink game on Wednesday. Cora's, I don't know, like they may have to pitch a position player in a playoff game the way that it's gone over the past few days.
Bottom line, Barrett, if your team is going to go and win this game, I think the managerial mismatch will be the major talking point Thursday into Friday, without a doubt. Like, Cora tried everything in his power to try to win a game, knowing it was going to be up against it in game 3. Maybe he's got one last trick up his sleeve. I sure hope that's not the case.
Yeah, and the one thing that scares me too, Stanton has not got going in this game, in this series. Stanton has been a great postseason player. He's been a guy that has given the Red Sox trouble in the past, so I am a little bit worried about that with the lefty in Early on the mound.
Yeah, I like Stanton over total bases. There you go. Stanton a homer tonight. I like it.
Yeah. Ugliest swing in the world, but maybe the strongest guy in Major League Baseball. All right, let's get to the Week 3 games on Sunday. So we have Tampa and Seattle. The Seahawks right now, -3 at home, 3-point favorites at home. The over-under in this game is 44.5. Raheem, what's your favorite play on this one?
I'm going to the Seattle Seahawks. I really like this one. Look, last week I said this. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Eagles were probably the luckiest teams in the league. And it's unfortunate because they were playing each other. And now that they're not playing each other, I can actually bet against one. And we know the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they're super duper banged up. And I just love the way this Seattle Seahawks defense is playing. They're getting to the quarterback. They're top 10 in EPA per play. So I'm going to lay the 3 with the Seattle Seahawks.
See, the problem is, and I agree with your take on this game, Raheem. I don't like the injury standpoint for Tampa. You're coming off a very grueling game. You go back to last week against Philadelphia, and now you got to fly across country for a well-rested Seattle group. The issue is not getting the best of the number here because you're seeing some 3.5s in the market. And when Baker Mayfield's the quarterback on the other side, he's frisky, down 10, marching it right down the field, getting you in a situation where he can go and backdoor you. Seattle is probably going to go and win this game, and they're probably going to go and cover. But as far as like Ringer 107, as far as some of the plays that I've been looking to make,
3 at FanDuel.
Still at 3 at FanDuel, but I've seen some 3.5s in the market.
Yeah.
So the moral of the story is if you listen to this pod right now, you're watching us, get your rear end betting Seattle if you like it now, because that 3 to 3.5 is a huge difference and a huge number. Seattle's the right side of the game. Don't like what Tampa is at from an injury standpoint. Seattle's defense is playing great. Rest advantage too. Seahawks to pass.
I'm with Raheem. I love the Seahawks -3 here. I think they're going to win comfortably. You look at Baker Mayfield, as great as he's been, and I love him as a competitor. 9 turnover-worthy plays, tied for the most in the NFL. He was one of the luckiest quarterbacks through the first 3 weeks of the season, and obviously caught up to the Bucs last week. The Seahawks have 7 picks, tied for the second most, and Baker has the most amount of turnover-worthy plays. So, and I know turnovers from year to year, like it's something that doesn't usually carry over, but right now Seattle's turning you over, and we've seen it through the first couple of weeks of the season. They have a ton of talent on their defense. And the Bucs, they always have a good rush defense, but their pass defense right now, 20th in pass EPA. Sam Darnold, who everybody's like, oh, we sure that he's an upgrade over Geno? He has been so far through the first couple of weeks of the season, number 2 in the NFL in expected points added plus completion percentage over expectation. He has been really good, 12.9 yards per completion, which is first in the NFL. And the thing is, he's just 26 in attempts, guys. So what they're doing is they're being really careful with him, and they're actually doing a really good job of drawing up shot plays for him. We know JSN right now, number 2 in the NFL as it pertains to receiving yards. He's like 100 behind Puka, which is just insane how far ahead of the field Puka is right now. So I like the Seahawks to cover the 3. And I also, going back to sort of a future here, plus 350 to win the West, right? The 49ers, we talked about the injuries. The Rams right now are minus 105 to win that division. We haven't had a Stafford injury yet. Puka's a guy that tends to get banged up as well. So plus 350, if they win this game on Sunday, I don't know. Are we going to get a better number than plus 350 as the season goes on, Raheem, with that?
I'm not sure we're going to get a better number, but I think the Rams will remain the favorite. That's what I'll say.
And they should, because of the pedigree of the coach. And say what we want about, Matthew Stafford getting hurt and being up there in age. The guy grinds his way through these years, Brian. I don't know how he does it. Epidurals, massages, whatever it might be. We find a way to see Matthew Stafford out there more likely than not.
Yeah, I just think that injury's coming at some point with Stafford. And I'm surprised he's been able to do it so far this season based on what happened in the offseason. All right, let's get to Denver and Philly. So the Eagles are 4.5-point favorites. The over-under in this game is 43.5. And, of course, he had the A.J. Brown drama this week. But, JJ, I'll start with you on this one. I've retired from betting against the Eagles after the last time I was on with you guys, that Rams game. I have retired.
Well, guess what? I bet against the Eagles in that particular spot. Now, I took the Eagles in week 4 against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I don't like this spot for Philadelphia against Denver. I think we've been waiting to see the Denver Bronco team that got all of this love and all of this hype throughout the preseason. And if you look at the way this line opened up, it was Philadelphia laying the 4.5. It has immediately come down to the 3.5 range. I think you're going to see a tremendous Denver game plan defensively for how they're going to go and attack this Eagle offense. I think you're going to see a lot of pass rushers get after Jalen Hurts. Obviously, the secondary of the Denver Broncos plays at a high level. The question to me is, can the Bronco offense that has left a whole lot to be desired over the first few weeks of this year show up in a big way? They took care of business against a pathetic Cincinnati team that is licking their wounds after what happened with the Joe Burrow injury. But I think Denver is ready for this game. I think the Eagles are poised for a slip-up. I'm going to grab the 3.5 here, Raheem, and I'll take it a step further. I think Denver, if Bo Nix can play a B-level football game, can go into Philadelphia and win the game outright. That, to me, is the biggest question in this matchup. Is Bo Nix going to be able to go and take advantage of an Eagle defense that's allowed people to make plays throughout the course of this year?
All right, so this is frustrating for me because I look at my model and I actually have this Eagles -6. And a big part of that is when you look at the Broncos last year, they were 1-8 against teams with a winning record. They haven't proved that they can beat anybody good. And, this year, their wins come over the Titans. Their wins come over the Cincinnati Bengals without Joe Burrow. They lost to the Chargers in a game where maybe they should have won. But like I said before, this Philadelphia Eagles team is on fraud watch. They've been outgained in each and every single one of their games this season. And for whatever reason, they just have God's blessing because you look at all 4 of their games, the opposing team has had a red zone turnover as they're about to tie or take the lead in each and every second half of their games this year. You look at week 1, the fumble with Miles Sanders. The Cowboys are about to take the lead. You look at week 2, Travis Kelce has the ball in his hand, about to score a touchdown, drops it. The Eagles intercept the ball, take it down, they go up 10. The game is pretty much over. You look at the Rams game. You got 2 blocked field goals. And then you look at last week, Eagles are absolutely dominating a banged-up Buccaneers team. Buccaneers, they find their way back. They're down 8. Baker Mayfield on the 11-yard line, about to score, escapes and just throws an inexplicable interception. So I just think the Eagles have been so fortunate. I mean, you're talking about a team that averages 3.9 yards per play on early downs. The only team that's worse than them is the Tennessee Titans at 3.6. Hurts is last in the NFL at 152 passing yards per game. So you're taking on this Broncos defense, which they lead the league in pressure rate at 37%, and they're 3rd in sack rate. So they're going to be able to cause some problems for the Philadelphia Eagles. I don't know how the Philadelphia Eagles score in this match. You're talking about a team that's 15th in EPA per play, 17th in success rate. So I actually think the Broncos have the better offense here. It's just a matter of, is Bo Nix going to make a mistake?
The Bo Nix factor, precisely.
If he doesn't make a mistake, the Broncos might win this game outright. So I agree with you. Broncos plus 3.5. I would rather have 4, but you're betting against a really fortunate team at this point in time.
Yeah, I don't love a side in this game. If I were, I would lean Eagles. And the reason is, you mentioned it, the record against winning teams last year. Raheem, I think one of those games was the one win was against the Chiefs when they rested everybody at the end of the season.
It was the last game of the season. That's the only one.
Yeah, that's the only one. And we talked about fraud watch with the Eagles. Fraud watch with Bo Nix. Like the fact that he was so high on all these quarterback lists before the season, Sean Payton wanted everybody to know he found his guy. Well, I'll tell you this, Dylan Gabriel was better at Oregon than Nix was, and Dante Moore is way better than Bo Nix was at Oregon. I just don't believe in Nix. I mean, did you see that pass he threw on Monday Night Football, the interception? What are you doing, man? You got points on the board. You're playing a lousy team. You look at him on the season, he's thrown south of 200 yards twice, and I know you mentioned what Hurts has done. His passer rating is 26. He's 23rd in EPA plus completion percentage over expectation. All the yards they pick up, they have nothing to do with him. They're schemed up. And I do think from an Eagles perspective here, they'll be able to get after him. So the one thing I do like, and I haven't seen this number come out yet, but I'm guessing it's going to be somewhere between 20 and 26-ish, somewhere in that range, is Bo Nix rushing yards. Mahomes ran for 66. Like, I think they're going to show him a lot of stuff where they pressure him and he's going to have to scramble. Mahomes, like I mentioned, those 66 yards. Baker didn't really scramble much in that game a couple of weeks ago. Or last week, I should say. So I think that's what I would look at. I would look at the Bo Nix rushing props in terms of what I'd like to play. But I don't love the game overall. And I'm with you guys. I don't know what to make out of the Eagles. Like, since they won a Super Bowl, it's almost like you got to accept it, right? Like, oh, they find a way to win. But it's really, and the fact that AJ Brown's talking about the same things that he was talking about last year. We'll see. Do we get a book on the sideline this week, JJ? What do you think?
I don't know. I love me some fall reading. I know summer reading is over for the kids. So, yeah, bring the book back if you're AJ Brown. Get your Zen back.
All right, let's get to the Monday nighter. Jags and Chiefs. Chiefs right now, 3-point favorites. Totals 46.5. Jacksonville really should be undefeated if you think about it. The one game they lost was that Bengals game when Burrow went down with the injury. We saw the Chiefs get back on track last week. What do you like in this one, Raheem?
Oh, I got to correct you because I got to push back on you rather because they really could have lost that Texans game. The Texans had
that's true, yeah.
So it evens out. So basically, long story short is it evens out. The record is exactly where it should be, Raheem, right? It evens out. That's it.
Yeah, it's exactly where it should be. This game is really tough for me because there's going to be a ton of sharp money on the Jacksonville Jaguars. But who have they played this season? They played the Carolina Panthers. They played a banged-up 49ers team. They played a Houston Texans offense, which, I mean, who can they score on? I mean, like one of the worst offenses in the league, and they almost lost that game. So to me, this is the big step up in competition. This is the big dog. This is Monday Night Football, prime time, and you're asking the Jaguars to step up in class and beat Mahomes after he got Xavier Worthy back. And a lot of people will talk about, oh, this Chiefs offense is struggling. They didn't have the firepower. Well, they survived that stretch. And now you got Xavier Worthy back. I know this Jaguars team, they've led at halftime in all of the games. The defense is playing well, but this is a step up in class, and I'm not willing to back the Jaguars here. I'm just not.
So it's interesting, Brian. Raheem, myself, and Ariel Epstein are in a little group chat, and we have to lock in our picks for the Ringer 107. Raheem wanted to make it clear to the two of us that he was very hesitant for us to get on board with the Kansas City-Jacksonville game. Now, I understand his logic. Jacksonville has been a very fortunate team as far as forcing turnovers throughout this season. And my guy, Anthony Campanelli, Jersey's finest, old Dolphin linebacker coach, the guy who likes to curse the way I do walking around the streets in New York City, F-bomb here, F-bomb there. We saw that throughout Hard Knocks. Well, he's got his defense playing at an insanely high level. And I totally get that a lot of people are going to look at the turnovers and say, hey, forcing that amount of turnovers over the duration of 18 games, 17 games, whatever the hell it is unsustainable. That may be true. But I like the fire that defense is playing at. And I kind of look at this spot. If I get 3.5 points, are we sure? Kansas City's all the way back? I mean, they beat the Giants. Okay. Russell Wilson was a quarterback. And Baltimore, in theory, you'd say, oh, what a great win. Well, Baltimore is an absolute mess at the moment. They're missing starters on defense like crazy. Their offensive line is not doing the job in front of Lamar Jackson. And Lamar Jackson ends up leaving that game with an injury. I think this reeks of a lot of people in the betting public saying, yeah, Kansas City's back. Kansas City's back. I'm laying 3. Monday Night Football. I got to take it. I'm laying 3.5. Got to take it. I would go the other way here. I guess it can't be a 107 pick because I don't take sides against the family, Raheem. You know that. I honor that. But if I'm making a play on this game, which I will be on Monday night, it's Jags or pass for me.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I just don't want to play the game. I'm in prove it mode with Jacksonville. Like I bought on, and here's my thing. I bought on Jacksonville last week. They were plus 3.5 against the San Francisco 49ers on the road. And you look at the 4 turnovers, and then you look at the fact that San Francisco had the ball at the 50, down 6 points or so. And they had a chance to win that game. Obviously, you had the sack on Brock Purdy. But sometimes I want to jump off the bandwagon. I had them. I played them for much of the year. I played them against Carolina. I played them against the San Francisco 49ers. Now it's like, all right, yo, show me. If you're on this level, I need to see it.
Yeah, my thing is, if I look at it, JJ references the turnovers, the 9 interceptions, the 13 giveaways, both first in the, or takeaways rather, most first in the NFL. I just don't see Mahomes giving the Jaguars those type of opportunities. And the thing that I look at, the reason I would go with the Chiefs here, and I like the Chiefs as a field goal favorite, is I just don't trust Lawrence in this spot. Lawrence right now, fifth most turnover worthy place, and he has a couple of throws a game where you're like, what is going on, man? How many years have you been in the NFL? You cannot make that decision. I thought we saw good things from Worthy last week. The 83 yards, he had 38 rushing as well. They found ways to get him involved. I don't know what's going on with the Jacksonville offense. Like, I think they have some talent, but what was the point of the Travis Hunter pick? He's
He's been
79.
non-existent.
Yeah.
Can't find a guy.
Dude, he's 79th out of 97 receivers in yards per reception. This is like one of the greatest athletes we saw in the history of college football, and he's 79th in yards per reception. He's not doing anything after the catch either. I get it if the average depth of target is short, but you got to get him the ball in space, right? The Thomas thing is really weird, where he had the drops, the alligator arms. He's not been over 60 yards once this season, guys. He was over that 12 times last season. So I don't know what's going on with him. So I would lean Kansas City there. Like, and I kind of like, nice say lean. I kind of like them just based on, I thought, and I know the Ravens aren't good, but I thought that was kind of huge for the Chiefs to sort of get their mojo back, beating a team that had been, I don't want to say a rival because the Chiefs always beat them. I like what we've seen from Mahomes over the past couple of weeks after the starts of the season. I think getting Worthy back is huge for them. Now, unfortunately, they're not going to get Tyreek Hill now. It felt like that was going to be inevitable at some point, but now with the injury, they're not going to get him. Like, I don't love the Chiefs this year. I just don't trust the Jaguars in a big spot yet.
Here's my thing. How would we view the Chiefs if Travis Kelce doesn't drop the ball and the Eagles intercept it? Because if that doesn't happen, I mean, we're talking about the Chiefs of old. I mean, that's the narrative at this point in time. Obviously, you start off 0-2, and people were saying, oh, what's wrong with the Chiefs? What's wrong with the Chiefs? And obviously, the Giants did play them tough. But I just, to me, I think this is a prove-it spot for Jacksonville.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I just don't love the number, guys. Seems a little too good to be true. If you ask
I
me.
don't want to bet either side of it. My model was at Chiefs -4,
Okay.
4.2. So it's at 3.5. Well, it was 3.5. FanDuel now has it at 3. So that tells you pretty much the sharp money is on Jacksonville. But I think for me, I'm sitting this one out.
All right, guys, can I interest you in the biggest Patriots game since 2021, which was also against the Bills? And Josh Allen and the Bills smacked the Patriots down in the postseason game very badly. So this is in Buffalo. Buffalo is now 8.5-point favorites. I think it was 7.5 at one point. Correct me if I'm wrong at that, but it's 8.5 right now. 49.5 is the over-under. The Bills are wearing their Blizzard all-white uniforms, and it's 80 degrees out. I don't understand the point of bringing those uniforms into the equation here. So, JJ, do my Patriots have a chance in this game?
Yeah, I think they do. I don't think they're going to win the game for what it's worth, Brian, but I'm okay with the idea of grabbing 8.5. I think Buffalo, because of the problems they have on defense that we saw the New Orleans Saints somewhat exposed, that we saw the Miami Dolphins somewhat exposed, I think you could see Josh McDaniels and company go to work on that. Now, is Drake May going to be able to out-duel Josh Allen? Probably not. I'm not going to be surprised if you get the back-breaking interception late in the fourth quarter with 3 or 4 minutes to go. That could definitely be on your bingo card. But I don't trust Buffalo's defense. I think Buffalo, in a way, Raheem, is going to be one of these overvalued teams throughout the course of the year where, listen, they have Josh Allen. They're one of the Super Bowl favorites. They're going to be very public each and every week. But yet, they're not going to cover a whole lot of games. They're going to win a whole lot of games. They're not going to cover a whole lot of games. I think New England is within the margin here in this spot. I think Vrabel gets his boys ready to go. I'm grabbing 8.5 with Barrett's New England Patriots. And I don't know if we're going to have the guts to take them again, Mr. Barrett, in the Ringer 107. We'll have to see. Dream, you taking New England?
No, I am not. But I'm also not taking Buffalo. I think the way to play this is the over 49.5 points. You look at the New England Patriots. They've allowed the second most explosive plays, allowing 16 passing plays of 20 or more. And you look at the Bills, we know that they're explosive with Josh Allen. We just know that. And I think the biggest thing with this Patriots team is that their offense has really improved. It's no more Drake maybe. They're second in EPA per play in terms of passing. So I think if the the Patriots are going to keep this one close or they're going to be in this game, I think it has to do with their offense. So, I mean, we saw last week, it was kind of like a big offensive explosion. They did get some, they were fortunate in some ways, but
it was against Carolina.
Yeah.
We do have to preface that. It was against, and I love the Patriots, as did you last week, Raheem.
Yeah.
We were all over them. We took them Ringer 107.
Mm.
I almost decided to ride with you for the wise wager. I went on the Rams. Thankfully, we both won. I told you right after that you were going to win by a zillion points. You were correct. But Barrett, Raheem's all over the New England improvement on offense, which I think he's spot on about.
But
I think those numbers, I'm sure they were inflated by playing that crummy Panther team,
Without a doubt. But I think the thing with the Patriots is they can't stop anybody. To me, that's what I mean, they're 24th in pressure rate. And if you can't pressure Josh Allen, I don't know what you do. So I think you're going to see a lot of passes from the Patriots because they're going to have to keep up with Josh Allen. I think this 49.5 is short. The Bills defense isn't very good as well. We know Ed Oliver and Matt Milano is still out, still banged up. So give me the over.
Yeah, I'm with Raheem I like the over too, but the Patriots defense has been the most disappointing part of the season now. Their defensive coordinator, Terrell Williams, is dealing with prostate cancer, so he hasn't been there. Zach Kerr's been calling plays. But I do put a lot of this on Vrabel, where his team has not been ready to go to start these games. And this is why this is my first play in this game. First quarter total over 9.5. The Pats have given up a touchdown, going back to my Vrabel point, on 3 of their first 4 games on opening drives. All 3 home games, they gave up a touchdown on the opening drive. Even Bryce Young came in and scored a touchdown on the opening drive, which is just amazing to me. And the Bills this season, 9.5 first quarter points per game is first, and the Patriots at 6.5 is 8th. So I think that number should go over. I think it's going to be a quick start. And forgive me if I gush over my guy a little bit too much here in Drake May. He's 5th in passer rating. He's 1st in completion percentage. He's 4th in EPA. He's 6th in yards. 3rd down completion percentage over expectation. 21.3 percentage points, by far the best of the NFL. He's 1st in rating and completion percentage. The thing about the Patriots, about the offense improving that is so amazing, the rushing offense is 32nd in EPA, and they're 31st in success rate. They cannot run the ball. The thing that I think there's too many chefs in the kitchen. Like, you can't have Ramondre Gibson and Henderson all have somewhere between 18 and 31 carries. Right now, Ramondre leads the team in rushing attempts. He has the same amount of rushing attempts as Josh Allen. I just feel like they're giving out too many carries. Last week should have been an opportunity to get Travion Henderson more involved. They didn't do that. The one other play I like here is the Patriots over 19.5 points. That's my favorite bet. I know Tua went over this. Baltimore put up 40. As great as the Bills defense is, I just think the Patriots are going to have to score to try to stay in this game. And they should be over this in 3 of the 4 games. The only game, the Pittsburgh game, they would have gone over if it wasn't for the 5 turnovers. I mean, that was just ridiculous in that game. And the one other thing I would say about this is I would look after the game at the Patriots playoff odds, because after this game against the Buffalo Bills, the Patriots schedule is unbelievably soft. We're talking about the Titans. We're talking about the Saints. We're talking about the Browns. And we're talking about the Bengals without Joe Burrow. So that's one thing I would look at. If the Patriots, they're likely to lose this game. I think they will cover, but let's say they lose this game. I mean, you could get a pretty good number. Maybe not based on how they look, but the schedule it really softens up. But if this defense was what it was supposed to be, and maybe Gonzalez he didn't look great in his first game back, but he's coming back from a hamstring injury. If he looks better, I mean, he's a game wrecker for them, because Milton Williams has been awesome. It's kind of amazing that this Patriots defense has been as bad as it is, especially considering the competition. The competition has not been great from an offensive perspective, but I like the first quarter over, and I like the Patriots over that 19.5. It should be fun though, guys. We're actually this should be a fun Sunday night game, which they've been doing a poor job, in my opinion, the Sunday night games. Besides, there's been 1 or 2 good ones, but 2 of them have been brutal. Like that Atlanta-Minnesota game stunk.
Yes, it did. I like some points. Fun game. Now, Barrett, we need to nail Ringer 107.
All right. Well,
Raheem.
let's take a break for the pod here,
Yes.
JJ, and then we'll get back to the Ringer 107. Yeah, today's Ringer 107 is brought to you by FanDuel. Pick'em contest all football season between you guys, the Bodega Locks, Sal and DeMundo, the fantasy guys, the boss Bill Simmons and Joe House, and then Sheil Kapadia has got his own team. What are you liking this week, JJ?
All right. And I'm riding with my gal, the prop queen, Ariel Epstein. We're together on this one. Love Love the New Orleans Saints laying the points against the Giants. This reeks of a letdown spot for Big Blue after what happened last week with Jackson Dart Mania, winning outright against the Chargers, everybody feeling the good vibes for the Giants. Malik Neighbors is done for the year. New Orleans has moved the football effectively. The Giant defensive line, Dexter Lawrence, a little banged up going into this matchup. I think this is Kellen Moore's time to shine. I think it is a moment for the Rattler. It might be the only time I take the New Orleans Saints at any point this year. Saints, can I get you on board, Raheem?
You can get me on board. You can definitely get me on board with this one. I think, there's a lot of hype with Jackson Dart, but I mean, he didn't exactly light the world on fire last week at all. So I do think you have to go here. He's on the road. I just think it's a bad spot for them. So I actually love the under in this game. I actually gave that on Monday, but we can't do totals for the Ringer 107.
No totals allowed.
Yeah, but I like this one. I think this is a good one.
All right, so 1 down, 4 to go. Barrett, we'll hear from you in a second. Now, remember, we want you as a part of the team, but you got to sell us on something that we're aligned with, because here's the beautiful thing for you, Brian Barrett. You can throw out whatever the hell you want to throw out for the Ringer 107. There's no accountability for you. There is a little accountability for me and Raheem in this spot, so you kind of get a free roll. Dream, I need to play. Barrett needs to play. What are you doing?
Okay. Let's go with the Houston Texans -1.5. It's going to be scary for a lot of people, but you look at the Ravens. They're already down Justin Matabuke. Calvin Lloyd is out. You look at, they're missing so many guys. Roquan Smith, Marlon Humphrey, Nate Wiggins. I mean, all of these guys are banged up, and the Ravens are just 30th in pressure rate. Now, here's the wild card. We know Lamar Jackson isn't playing. Cooper Rush actually played against the same Texans defense last year. Cowboys lost 34-10. Cooper Rush was 32 of 55 for 354 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He was sacked 5 times, and he fumbled twice. This guy had a negative EPA per play of -16.9. Cowboys had a 36% success rate. You look at the Texans. All the games in which they lost this year, they 1-3, were all 1-score games. Let's go through those games. I know Anthony DeBundo talks about how bad this Texans offense is, but they still lost 1-score games against the Rams. They were at the 18-yard line with 2 minutes to go. Chance to take the lead. Wale fumbles the ball. How about that Buccaneers game? You were on the Texans on Monday night. Texans are winning that game down the stretch. Baker Mayfield has the walk-off touchdown pretty much. Let's go to the Jacksonville Jaguars game. Texans, they're driving down the field. They're at the Jacksonville 10-yard line with under 2 minutes to go. Collins fumbles the ball. So if things go their way, you could be talking about a team that isn't 1-3, but maybe 3-1, maybe in 2-2 the best. And their offense hasn't been good. Well, I think the remedy for their offense is this Ravens defense. I think this is the spot where you say, you know what, if you can't score against this Ravens defense, I'll tip my cap and I'll never bet on you again.
Like it. I'm in on it, Raheem. Okay, so Houston in. I totally agree. Now, Barrett, you got to sell us on something before we debate a few more. So we got 2 in. We got the Saints. We got the Texans. Give us some of your favorite plays. We'll try to pick one, and we'll see if we're aligned.
Okay, so I can't convince you on that Seattle-Tampa game, right? Because you like Tampa.
No. You can.
I like Seattle, and that was actually going to be my pick. And the reason why I didn't give it first is because I knew you liked it.
Let's go. Oh. See, I got you, Brian Barrett. So we don't got to discuss that one anymore because we spent a lot of time on Seattle and Tampa. You're in on Seattle. Hopefully we get better luck with the turnovers, Barrett, than we did in that Patriots-Steelers game, you know?
Oh, geez. I mean, we were on the right side, right? I mean, yeah. I don't know what happened with that game. I'll throw one other game at you guys. Cowboys, 2.5-point favorites in New York.
Oh, no.
This is more so about the Jets than it is the defense is terrible. I get all that, right? But the reason I like the Cowboys in this spot is I watched the Monday night game. I was subject to the Monday night game. The Jets don't look.
I was there.
You were there?
Good seats. Oh, yeah.
Oh, man,
yeah.
you had to see that Tyreek thing. That was brutal. But
Right in front of me. Don't remind me. Whew.
guys, I look at the Jets offense. They get so many pre-snap penalties. I know Justin Fields can run, but he can't throw. And even if like the Jets defense has been unimpressive this season, it really has not been based on the names that are there. I haven't been impressed with the
It's
Jets
been
defense.
awful. It's been
Well,
awful.
I know the Cowboys defense.
Raheem, you're the Cowboy fan now. Where do you stand on the Cowboys in this game? Because to me, it's Cowboys a pass, but it's a rat. I mean, the line at 2.5 just reeks rat. It just does.
So this is super duper square.
That's why we're not taking it.
You're gonna have a lot of sharps on the Jets because you look at the Cowboys, they've played the maximum amount of time that you could possibly play. And the spot is it's a horrible spot. You look at the Cowboys, they were 7.5-point underdogs to Green Bay at home, and they laid it all on line. Like they left everything on the field because it's a kind of a Micah Parsons revenge spot. And now you got to get back off your feet off of a tie and go on the road and play the Jets. So the spot is just terrible. But you are right. I think Aaron Glenn is basically Robert Saleh without defense. like he might legitimately be one of the worst coaches in the league. And I hate to say this, and you want to give him a chance, but it's just they have penalties. They're undisciplined. The defense is horrible. Like as far as bad as the Cowboys defense is, that Jets defense is downright abysmal. You know, Tua looked the most comfortable he's looked in like 2 years. So I can understand wanting to lay it with the Cowboys here. They are the better team. You're talking about a team that's second in offensive EPA per play, but it's just the spot is so ugly. And if you go back and you look at that Jets-Dolphins game, they had some really bad luck. You had a fumble at the 1-yard line. You had like 5 hits.
There's always bad luck. See, that's the thing, though, Raheem. There's always
Allen's
bad luck
out,
with the
too.
Jets. There's always bad luck.
Yeah.
Listen, the bottom line is we're staying away from this game. Barrett, here's one that Raheem and I like. We got to get you on board. It's ugly. It's a stinker. But we're getting 10.5 points. There's no way the Bengals can look as bad as they did on Monday Night Football. The Lions right now, oh, they're back. Oh, they're this. Oh, they're that. You got to lay 10.5 on the road. I could see Browning putting up some points. All we got to do is cover 10.5. I know Raheem likes it, right, Raheem?
Yeah.
You're in on this?
To me, like the Lions, they were laying 9.5 against the Browns last week. Anemic offense. I think this Bengals offense can, do a little bit more. And I just think, where did I have this in my model? I think my model would have this. I'm at like 5.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm really at like 5. So I just think this number
Overreaction, right?
Yeah, it's just a little bit of an overreaction. I mean, 2 weeks ago, Detroit was catching 6 to Baltimore on the road. So it's just like at some point in time, like this is a market. But the one thing that's scary about it is that we know Detroit, I mean, under Dan Campbell, they covered like 70% of their games. So I like it, but Barrett, I want to hear what your thoughts are, and then I also want to hear if you have any alternatives.
Yeah, the thing that scares me about that game is just the Bengals defense is so bad. I don't understand why Al Golden would leave Notre Dame to take the Cincinnati Bengals defensive coordinator job. I understand it's the NFL. I just don't try. And I really don't like Browning. Like I know that they are really high on Browning based on last year, but Zach Taylor's coming out having to defend him. We saw what was going on with the sidelines with Jamar Chase. So I would be a little scared. And the other thing you mentioned with Dan Campbell against the spread, they'll keep going. Like they keep running up the score. And that Lions offense after the first week, I know their defense has not been as good as maybe expected, but their offense has been what you expect after the first week. So I would be a little bit scared of that. The other one I would suggest, well, obviously, this is going to be close to you, JJ. Dolphins, after losing Tyreek Hill, playing on Monday Night Football, they play Carolina, 1.5 point favorites. Carolina's defense is subject to the middle of the field, and HN, one of the best receiving backs in the NFL. I know you don't have Hill, but you can get Waddle going.
No, I like it. You don't got to sell me on it. It's
okay,
easy.
because the Panthers' defense.
There's no way in the world I'd bet Carolina. That to me is a game. If you're betting Carolina, you're insane. The only thing is the spot coming off Monday Night Football. I wanted to take Miami last week. I got shut down. I understand this could end up being really stupid.
We didn't shut you down. You shut yourself down.
There you go. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. I could endorse Miami in this spot.
I can't endorse Miami.
Okay.
Because I think Miami is, and I hate to say it, but I think Miami, they're on the same level. Like I truly believe they're on the same level.
No argument. No
So,
argument. And you don't like the spot. You don't have Tyreek. Okay. So we're out on Dolphins.
What
Panthers.
about the Broncos? The Broncos are at 4.5.
I like the Broncos.
Because I can live with that. I can live with that.
Well, listen, we have 3 plays here.
Yeah.
Denver, Bengals. If you had to, what would be the other one you would give us, Barrett? Cowboys or Dolphins? You like one of those two?
I like the Cowboy. I actually like the Dolphins more than I like the Cowboys.
All right, Raheem, rank them.
All right.
I like the
Denver to me
Patriots too.
I want Denver in there.
So
I definitely want Denver in there.
All right. So we got 4 then. Because so right now you gave the New Orleans Saints. I gave the Houston Texans.
Seattle and Houston are locked. Yes.
And then we got Denver. So we can just got to figure out one more.
Pats.
What do you guys feel about Washington?
No, too uncertain. Too much
Yeah,
uncertainty. I like Washington, but too much uncertainty, and I don't like betting against Harbaugh. I
hate to say it. Oh, matter of fact, nah. See, I was gonna say
Gabriel debut.
No, thank you. We don't do international games around here, Brian. That's a team rule.
I was going to be on the Viking side of that, by the way.
No, team rule. No international games.
Jesus Christ. We need
I'm
one
holding
more.
my no. I vote Bengals.
I'm going to ride with you.
Let's go. Come on, Barrett. Hold your nose. Hold your nose. Hold your nose. Nobody else is taking the Bengals in this 107.
Yeah, nobody else is taking this.
They're not going to have the guts to do it. We got the guts to do it around
Let's
here.
do it.
We got some cojones, okay? Let's go. Bengals, baby. Bengals. There you go, Brian Barrett. That's your Ringer 107.
Today's Ringer 107 is brought to you by FanDuel, odds subject to change. All right, guys, before we go, best bets. Raheem, you want to start off?
All right, so we're going to go with the international game for the best bet.
Oh God. Good luck.
But hear me out.
Okay.
We're going to go with the Vikings first half. Let me see what the number is. I have to really see what this number is, but
all right, while you do that, I won't waste any time. Best bet for me, New Orleans Saints take care of business against Jackson Dart and the Giants, and I am throwing in a Yankee SGP for this evening. Yankees to win, Ben Rice to get a hit, 2+ total bases for Giancarlo Stanton. Have a little fun with that on the FanDuel Sportsbook site.
all right, yeah, we're going to go with the Vikings -2.5 in the first half. They have the best home field advantage spot or rest spot that we've ever seen in the history of football. And we have 2 examples to pull from. You go back to 2023, the Jacksonville Jaguars, they played overseas. They played the Atlanta Falcons in week 1. They stayed over there. The Buffalo Bills came over. That first half, the Bills looked like they didn't even come off they didn't even look like they didn't show up in the first half. They beat them. Let's go back to last year. Barrett remembers this. First game, they play the Chicago Bears. Second game, they stay in London. They play the New England Patriots and completely blow the doors off of them in that first half. It was 22-10 in that first half. So I'm going to go with that again. You got a rookie quarterback and Gabriel stepping in for his first start in NFL history. He's going overseas against a team that was already over there for 2 weeks. They got their body clocks right. Let's go with the Minnesota Vikings. If you want to add anything for best bets, obviously I like the Seahawks. Obviously I like the Texans, but let's go with the Minnesota Vikings first half -2.5. Oh,
Like
matter of
it.
fact, I got another one. I forgot to get this out. Washington Commanders and Chargers under 48.5. I don't think there's going to be a lot of points in this game. We know Joe Alt is out. Rashawn Slater is banged up on that Chargers offensive line. They couldn't protect last week. I think this is going to be a lower scoring game.
Okay, for me, I'm sticking with Seattle that I mentioned earlier. I love Seattle in that spot against the Bucs, 3-point favorites. And then I love the Patriots pick I gave out earlier, over 19.5 points. If the Patriots don't score over 19.5 points, they have lost the game like 42-14. Like it would be blowout city if that's the case because of their defense.
Rock
All
and
right,
roll,
fellas,
Brian
thanks for letting me
Barrett.
hang out. JJ, I'd wish you good luck tonight,
No, you'd
but
be
it wouldn't be
lying. Listen,
sincere,
it's okay.
so I'm not going to do it.
You'd be lying. You don't got to BS me in the audience. I love you. You're a dear friend of mine. I wish you nothing but the worst later on this evening. Let's just leave it at that. Okay.
Yeah, I like the player haters ball theme from Dave Chappelle. Like I hate you, and no need to wish anybody luck. You guys are enemies.
Raheem,
least for
I may
tonight.
have to deal with the Celtics losing to the Knicks and the Red Sox losing to the Yankees in the same season, essentially. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough.
That one was brutal because you guys were up like 30 in every game.
Yeah.
They won a championship the year before. I don't want to hear it, please.
But I mean, the thing is, they don't even get a chance to get back because Jason Tatum tears his Achilles, and then they have to blow up the team. So I feel bad for them.
I get it. Barrett, you've seen enough winning, but good luck. Not really. Love you, buddy.
All right, thanks, guys. Next for your gambling show comes up Friday with Cousin Sal, Danny Heifetz, and Anthony DeBundo.
Must be 21 plus and present in select states. Kansas, in affiliation with Kansas Star Casino, or 18 plus and present in D.C. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit rg-help.com. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut or visit mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland. Hope is here. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org or call 1-800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts, or call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY in New York.